Okay, welcome tonight to Elk Grove High School. I'm Craig Johnson. I'm getting help today from Junior, and we're announcing the Elk Grove Wrestling Meet between the Elk Grove Grenadiers and the Wheeling Wildcats. So, Junior, what do you expect? Good match tonight?
I would think so. Anytime you have two conference opponents facing each other that know each other extremely well, you're going to get some good wrestlers, and there's going to be talent sprinkled out through both lineups here, and so I'm expecting some good wrestling tonight.
Well, I think Elk Grove's got a good chance. It's been a long time since we did well against Wheeling, so
Yeah.
it'd be nice to see that. So, Coach Vargas has done a phenomenal job. The program's going well, and a lot of the wrestlers you'll see tonight have gone through the Junior Grin program, which is, as you know, is the backbone to building successful wrestling programs. You got to have that feeder program, getting them ready by the time they get to high school. So, I think we're starting to see the results of that feeder program, and I mean, they got a great year going. They're 9-6, 2-2 in the division, which is they beat Wheeling tonight. They have the first winning record in the division and conference for probably 30, 40 years.
Yeah, and you're spot on about that. Wrestling's not a sport like basketball where you can go find a neighborhood hoop or have one in your driveway and practice on your own on days on end. It requires a club just like Elk Grove has had now for the past, I would say, decade, and the results are starting to show. A lot of these kids started when they were 5 and 6 years old and have come up through the program. So it's encouraging to see. The numbers look good, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's good, and of course, Junior and I are a little prejudiced. Both of us wrestled Elk Grove High School, and both were coaches here just about 8, 9 years ago. So our love is for the sport, our love is for the school, and let's hope the Grenadiers put on a good show tonight on senior night.
I hope so.
So they're just doing the introductions now. The two wrestlers, you notice, will come out, meet their opponent, shake hands, a little camaraderie beforehand, and also gives you a little chance to size up your opponent a little bit too. So hopefully our guys are feeling good and are excited about it. But both programs have been phenomenal over the years. Wheeling's always had a long time, great history of in wrestling, and and so it should be an exciting night for us, especially a nice crowd. With COVID and everything going on, it
Yeah.
shows high school sports still keep going.
Yeah, well, it's got to be a little different for everyone here too. I remember we did a meet over in the spring, and they had to postpone that season to the spring, and it was definitely different. So it's good to see everything back in the gyms with a good crowd here out to watch the wrestlers, and the numbers are good. I was worried with a sport like wrestling that doesn't get much notoriety. Losing a season could be devastating, and so it's been nice to see that the numbers have come back and these kids are ready to go. So it looks like they're going to do the coin toss here, and we'll get started.
Well, the other thing too with COVID, wrestling, you can't wear masks.
No.
So you're on top of each other. You're close to your opponent. So I'm glad to see they've had no COVID breakout as far as tonight's matches go. So
Yeah.
that's a good sign. And the hope is they get through this well and keep our fingers crossed. It looks like Coach Kern did make it tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he had to go to a family event, but the head coach there made it. And of course, Coach Dan Vargas is the head coach here at Elk Grove. Been doing it for about 7, 8 years now. And like I say, he's really got this program humming, and it makes us feel good and excited to see that.
Yes.
So, Craig, why don't you explain when the coin flip goes, what are they deciding there? Odds, evens, what's that mean?
Yeah, so depending on the outcome of the match and depending on how many wrestlers, sometimes if there's not enough, they'll just flip a coin each time. But in this instance, both lineups are relatively full, so they'll flip a coin. Whoever wins the toss can choose odds and evens, and there's some strategy with that. Maybe it's dependent on key matches that you feel are swing matches within the meet here tonight, or if there's forfeits in play, those matches do count for whether you get selection after the first period or not. So I think they both go in there knowing which number they would want, whether it's odd or even. So that's what they're determining right now.
It looks like Elk Grove got the choice. The green came up, the green coin, so yep, they're excited. So, I mean, that's something when a wrestler gets that excited just over a coin flip, but it's good.
Hey,
It's
win's
a
a
big
win.
meet. It's a big meet tonight. And nice to see Elk Grove get that winning record going.
Yes.
So we start off tonight, Craig, at 138. They go by weight classes, which means the wrestler cannot exceed that weight when they weigh in. And they do weigh-ins every time for wrestling about an hour before the meet. And they weigh them in, and it's one of those sports where you match guys up by size,
Yeah.
which is very fair. I mean, anyone like me, small, when we were young, played football, we a little disadvantage going to get guys 100 pounds heavier than you. But in wrestling, I liked it because you're going size on size, so it works well, and it should go good. So they start 38, they'll go up, and then go back to the bottom weight and build back up to 38. So
Yeah, it used to always, way back in the day, it would always start at the lowest weight and go to the highest weight. And, you know, just depending on the team, it could be good or bad, whatever the case may be. But I always thought about the parents. If you had a heavyweight, you always had to wait until the end and watch that. And the heavyweight themselves would always be the last match. And so it's nice in a dual meet aspect where they switch it up because sometimes by the time you get to that last match, that from a team aspect, it's meaningless. So you like to get your team some points early on, so I like how they switched it up, and they determine this before the match. They'll actually pick a weight out of a hat or a shoebox or whatever they choose, and that's how they determine where they're going to start.
okay, so Junior, who starts us off tonight at 138?
So 138, I believe was, did Wheeling have a guy that they plugged in?
Oh,
Because Wheeling on my lineup is showing that they didn't have a match. So I don't know if we're going right into 145 or what the case is here. So we're going to give it a second
hang
and
on.
see.
I think the ref's trying
Yeah.
to figure it out too, and the scorers table.
I think Wheeling has a forfeit here at 138, so it should be a forfeit for Elk Grove.
Well, they're bringing the manager for the team
They're-
up there to
they're
check
as
the
confused as
scorebooks.
we are.
Yeah. So let's see what happens here. Well, they're trying to, even the ref's still trying to figure it out. Okay, so Wheeling does have a 38-pounder. Unfortunately, we don't have his name, but we do know he's going for, we do know he's going for Elk Grove.
Anthony Messina will be the 138-pounder here for Elk Grove.
Anthony is a sophomore. He's 1-5 right now, and he was a Junior Grin alumni we talked about earlier.
Yeah. Got in deep on that double leg. Nice takedown there. That's 2 points for Elk Grove.
I mean, he really shot in on that one.
He's throwing in the legs here. Different style wrestlers. Looks like he's got that locked
Cradle.
up if he can keep it back in bounds, and he does. So he's on the mat.
He's got him. He's almost got him.
He's got to get that knee in the side
He
up.
got it.
Got it.
Nice start. Big start, especially for a sophomore. So that's 16 points, which puts Elk Grove up 6-0.
That's the way you want to start off a match.
Yes.
Set the tone. Now we're coming into 145 pounds here. It'll be Avion Roman for Wheeling versus Danny Gaskill here for Elk Grove, one of the seniors that we just saw earlier getting honored for senior night.
Danny's got a nice record going, 18-7. He was first at the Glenbard West tournament. Actually got the outstanding wrestler, third at Rex Lewis, 7 West. He was a sectional qualifier last year, and it looks like he's going to have a good match here, and see he's getting ready hopefully for big tournaments coming at the end of the year here.
Yeah, this is getting to the time where you're fine-tuning everything. This all plays and factors in for seeding, and a nice shot there on the low single. Elevates and brings it back down. So a nice takedown to start off the match quickly here for Danny.
He's got that arm in nice and tight.
Working on 2-on-1. He wants to suck that in tight to the waist. You don't want space so you can hopefully elevate. He's got to get his hips underneath him there in order to get it. The ref waved it off. You need a 2 count in order to get points off of a tilt there. So
Notice he stays back on the wrestler to keep control.
yeah, you want to keep your hips back. You want to keep pressure on the wrestler, and he's working for that arm control. He's got to hop off to the side if he wants to be able to get that, but he's going move to move, which is what you teach on top. You can't just do one and hope that works. And it looks like he's also trying to throw the legs in.
It was almost, that was close.
He
He's
goes
got
right
it out.
into
There he
nice
goes.
cross face there.
Okay, 2 points for that back. What's nice with Danny is you notice he goes side to side. He works one side then the other side. That's what you want to control with the wrestler.
Wheeling wrestler there got an escape. That's worth 1 point. So right now it's 4-1 here in the first period in favor of Danny from Elk Grove.
Should get behind him, get the 2.
Nice sprawl by Danny. He's got to stuff the head and get that leg free so he can get back behind him, because as of right now, the Wheeling
There he
wrestler, he
goes.
just let it go.
Yep. So for people watching, what a wrestler needs to do is take down the opponent. He's got to get behind him and get control to get the takedown 2 points.
Yes.
Looks like he's cradling up, just so we had the last match.
Doesn't quite have it locked. He's got to run that head to the leg there.
So Elk Grove must have chose even, so they're making a choice. They're going to defer. So Wheeling picks in the second period. That means Elk Grove will have choice in the third period.
Mhm.
And that can mean a lot, Craig. That choice in the third period, because you usually bottom, you get escape, get a point, and then go for the takedown. Give you a chance to get more points sometimes.
Yeah, you have a better understanding of where the match is going to sit after that second period, obviously, with just that last period remaining, whether you need to get more points, whether you feel like after you've wrestled for 2 periods, if you're more confident on top, on your feet, on bottom. So there's a lot that plays into it. So it's always, unless it's a 0-0 score, you always want to defer that first one. Or at least that's my preference.
Looks like Danny keeps trying to work for that cradle. Looks like he's got that tight wrist under there. Yeah, he's got, you can see he brought his wrist under up, gave that up now. Danny's looking for a cradle, I think.
And
Yep.
when you run that cradle, you want to post behind that leg and then run his head to his knee. It's a lot easier to move it
Yeah, he's got that
upper
tight,
body than
yeah.
a leg. And you got it.
That was a tight, quick one.
So another nice win there for Elk Grove. Another pin, that's 6 more. So they'll take a 12-0 lead heading into the third match here. I believe this. It looks like they're filling in another spot. So it looks like they did fill up their lineup here. So 160, we don't have the Wheeling wrestler's name.
That's 152.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're right. 152. So it's Miguel Guerrero from Wheeling versus Diego Avila from Elk Grove.
This is Diego's first match on varsity.
Oh.
So let's see how he does here. He's got a 0-0 record, of course.
It's always a exciting time when it's your first opportunity to wrestle on the varsity level. I'm sure his nerves are at a high level right now, but once you kind of get on the mat and you first lock up like they just did, it tends to go away and you just start wrestling again. Miguel's in on his leg there. He's trying to elevate that while Danny's trying to get that whizzer in and keep away, but unfortunately it didn't work, and it's a takedown for Miguel.
Miguel got his leg thrown in there now too, as we saw some of the Grove guys doing earlier. Both just trying to look for, trying to see.
It looks like Wheeling's trying to look for a 2-on-1 there, and Miguel is trying to throw in a leg here and there, but what Diego for Elk Grove is doing is he's trying to keep a strong base. He wants to get his hands back because when you're the top wrestler, you want to keep the pressure on. You want to keep the space as minimal as possible and break that wrestler flat. You're doing the complete opposite when you're on the bottom. You want to create space. You want constant movement so you can have that separation.
Oh, nice
and
switch.
A nice switch there for Elk Grove. So that's what they're looking for. And now the roles are going to be reversed. So now Diego's going to want to keep that pressure on and break the wrestler flat and look for opportunities to score back points.
So you always want to keep your hips tight on his hips.
Yep, and it
So
looks
you
like
can
another
follow him
switch there
around.
for Wheeling.
Not
Not
quite yet.
complete.
13 seconds. Hopefully you can hold that off.
Drive him
Save
off.
point.
It'll be
Oh,
loss
good.
of control. Yeah, they'll give him a point for that. So
His escape point.
it's going to be 3-2 Wheeling right now with about 10 seconds left here in the first period.
It always drives a coach nuts to give up that point in the last 10 seconds of a match.
Yeah.
But it's better to give up one than two.
One than two. That's
Yeah,
absolutely right.
We've heard that a million times. One, not two. Elk Grove, now see, they take down, which they Wheeling deferred to him, so Elk Grove had to choose, and down gives them a chance hopefully to reverse again or escape. Tried that switch again, didn't quite get around.
Now, one thing the Elk Grove wrestler wants to do is you don't want to just try one move and then stop. Your chances of that first move actually working are not the greatest. Can it happen? Does it happen? Absolutely. But the more moves you put together in succession, the higher the likelihood that you're going to be able to get out. So I would have liked to have seen doing a switch and then coupling that with a stand-up or a sit-out or something on top of that, or even doing another switch. And so that's one thing that you would like to see, and something that, being a young wrestler, first varsity match, I'm sure that's something that they'll work on. But it'll create more opportunity to get out rather than getting broken down. So he's got to build his base back up here. He's got to get his hands back. He'll probably try to roll those wrists out so they can get free and slowly work his way back up. There you go. There's one on the right. Now he's getting the other one back, and there it is. And now he wants to try and build back to that base.
He's got his leg, and he's trying to make look. He doesn't really have much to turn him with.
And when the wrestler gets the legs in like that, what you want to do is you want to crawl forward. If you crawl forward, you get that leg free. So you don't want to just sit there on your hip. You want to continue to crawl forward. Otherwise, you're opening yourself up for opportunities to get tilted like that and get those back points.
Yep, he was able to fight that off. It'd be nice for him to get at least 1 point escape here.
Yes.
So go in the third because Whelan takes choice. There he goes there. I thought he was going to roll through that.
He's close. Got to try that again. He's got 20 seconds left to get a point here.
Yeah, that'd be a big point going in the third period. Because I'm sure Whelan's going to take down. 10 seconds here. Actually, Whelan could do a little bit more work on top, too.
What'll eventually happen is if he continues to do that, the refs will tell him that they'll give him a stalling warning because you can't work parallel with the wrestler. You have to get perpendicular. You have to get off to the sides. You can't just lay flat on the back of a wrestler. Otherwise, you will get hit for stalling. So I'm sure they'll keep an eye out for that here in the third period if the same thing happens.
Well, Whelan, like I said, took bottom, which means now Elk Grove's got to look for back points. He's got to look to turn them. Doesn't want to give up one escape or a reversal. So see what he does here.
He's either going to turn him or at some point, if he's just riding him, he's going to have to let him go so he can get a takedown. So
up there comes a reversal. 2 points.
So he didn't get the one escape and then the 2 takedown because there wasn't technically a loss of control by the Elk Grove wrestler. So for anyone watching at home that's wondering why he didn't get 1 point for an escape because they were facing each other, there was technically no loss of control. So they'll just give him the reversal on that one.
Plus, refs like to see a little separation, for the escape point before they do something like that. He's going to let him go. Whelan coach won't go, so he's looking now for, which is good for Elk Grove. He gets a takedown, he ties the match.
Yeah.
Whelan thinks confident they can do a takedown on him. Yep, he got it. Yep.
So 7-3, Whelan is in control here. I'm sure they're going to continue to do that to try and get more team points, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're letting him go again there.
Diego's doing a nice job, but showing a little experience. It's first time in varsity, and you can tell he's getting a little bit tired.
I mean, it's still a close enough match where anything can happen. Oh, got caught there. If he's on the mat, there it is.
That's the thing about wrestling. At any point, any time, it can go from a 3-point to team to 6 like that. So Whelan just cut Elk Grove's lead in half. It's now 12-6 to Grenadiers. You never know with wrestling. It can happen quick.
So here's 160. This is where Elk Grove will get that forfeit. Jacob Elsner will get a forfeit at 160 for Elk Grove, which will be another 16 points, which will bring it to an 18-6 Elk Grove team lead as we move into the 170 match, which will be Leo Giron. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. Versus Mitch Janzak for Elk Grove.
Mitch is a junior, 11-11 record, third at Glenbard West, and he's a junior Grand alumni, and he's a starting quarterback for the varsity football team.
You'll see a lot of that. There's no two better sports that pair each other than wrestling and football when it comes to your leverage, your body positioning, your coordination. There's hand fighting. There's so many things that you do in football that translate into wrestling and vice versa.
Well, I always tell the story. Sporting News did a thing. 94% of the all-pro linemen in pro football wrestled in high school.
Yeah.
It's like you say, it builds you everything you need for linemen in every sport. I mean, you get core strength, you get agility, speed. They all work perfectly together. Just not basketball. We jokingly say that because basketball and wrestling always rival, and unfortunately basketball wins out a lot more. So we have a little more affinity toward wrestling than basketball when you're a true wrestler. Well, it looks like they're locked up here, Craig, looking for some position.
They're tying up, and when you're in a tie-up position, the optimal place to be is inside position, they refer to it. So you want your hands inside of your opponents. You just have more control, more opportunity to create offense off of that, where you can push, pull, shift, side to the side, throw arms by. So what you'd like to be is inside on these situations.
Well, not uncommon that sometimes a whole period can go by and no one gets a takedown. Oh, working for the leg. When I coached Craig, I didn't like ear to ear. I always want our guys forehead to forehead.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that ear to ear.
Yeah, you want forehead to forehead to kind of control a little better range available to you.
And ideally, forehead to temple. If your forehead's in that other opponent's temple, you're going to be able to create a lot more. You're in a much stronger position to attack from there.
Well, you can kind of lead them with your head then. Well, here's a big one now. Who gets choice? Wheeling does. Probably defer. Yeah, they did. You want that choice in that third period.
Yeah, and that's where
it's always debatable.
If it were me, I would have chosen down, because
you want the first point.
As rarely as it does come up, if you score the first point in the match, you can get to sudden death, or I think they call it now sudden victory, after that first overtime period. And it continues to go. You actually get the choice if you want top or bottom when it comes to that final, and it's based off of that first score. So doesn't happen very often, but it's something. So I always, if it's a 0-0 match, will choose down.
And I've always been the one, I want my choice in the third where it can make a difference whether I want to be on my feet, because you can choose on your feet, not just top or bottom. Mm-hmm. And if you feel comfortable with a takedown, that's 2 points for you. So, yeah, and that's what's great about this sport. Every coach has their own opinion on things. And, you know, one's right, one's wrong.
And I'm usually right.
Well, you had a lot better record than I did, so I'm not going to argue. See again, head to head, or ear to ear. There we go. Now we get a little better position for Elk Grove. Right there, he's got his head in his temple, like you said. Now he's got to use that advantage.
And at some point, the wheeling wrestler is probably going to get hit for stalling. There hasn't been much action on either side,
but he's backing
But the
up.
wrestler that's moving forward is going to get the benefit of the doubt more often than not. So there hasn't been a whole lot of urgency on either wrestler's part when they're on their feet here to get a takedown. But it's going to end up benefiting the Elk Grove wrestler if the wheeling wrestler continues to do that.
Oh, lucky. That was close.
Very lucky.
Elk Grove got a break on that one being off the mat, because he would have gotten the 2 on that one. Well, 30 seconds left. This is where matches are decided. These last seconds of any period.
You go right back into that tie-up.
They both like getting in that position. So you just heard the coach yell, get away from the ear.
Because, I mean, yeah, you're tying up your opponent with that situation, but you're not
tying
offering yourself up any opportunities to continue to score either.
You're basically tying each other up, and that's where you can get sometimes double stalling warnings. Both wrestlers do it.
Quick shot off the whistle here.
10 seconds.
Nothing
no,
yet.
He didn't lose it. 10 seconds. Oh.
That's why you want to continue to wrestle, because, you know, if he would have just laid down, assumed he was taken down and given up, he would have given up 2 points. But he continued to move. He continued to face his opponent, and the ref did not award it, which he shouldn't have. So it was a good call and a good opportunity to go into the third period with a 1-point lead.
Well, now here, Junior, I got to admit, you're right. It's 1-0, and if we do go overtime, it gives a big advantage to the Elk Grove wrestler. Let's hope we don't have to go overtime.
I was going to say, hopefully it doesn't go to there. The Elk Grove wrestler has a distinct height advantage and length advantage, so sometimes that plays into your favor for when you're looking for some of these moves, like he's getting the armbar right here.
Yep. He's walking
Looks
out.
like if he's got to circle through and
right
put
there,
pressure.
Right there, that's 2 points.
Now he wants to get back on top, hips up. If he has high hips and walks back to where he ran that from, he'll be in a safe position. He wants to keep circling, see he lost it.
He got 3, but then Wheeling got the reversals. Now it's tied 3-3. So.
Correction, 4-2 actually.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
You got the 3 near fall for Elk Grove and then the 2 reversal. Now Elk Grove gets the point. So He's sitting in a good spot. He's up 5-2 here with a minute 12 left or minute 17 left, and there hasn't been much action on the feet. So it's actually going to require 2 takedowns for the wheeling wrestler. So in these situations where maybe you aren't as confident on your feet and you are looking to get to that opportunity where he was the wrestler on top, you can make it look like you're staying in good position and stalling without stalling. So he just wants to keep the pressure forward, stay in good position, and not give up anything cheap. But he wants to get his elbow out of there. That was a nice throw by the wheeling wrestler, but a good job by Mitch to face up on him. So what he wants to do is just stay in good position. He's got 52 seconds left. He doesn't want to give up any cheap takedowns.
And Coach Vargas just said, watch that throw by. Warn him, because once he grabs that elbow, you know what he's looking for.
Yeah, if you're, I used to live by that. If you're underneath a wrestler but you have control of that tricep area, you're still in an attacking position. So you can't have a false sense of security when you're the wrestler on top, when the wrestler's on his knees or in that position. So you've always got to be ready. There's moves you can do from everywhere.
Now here's where Elk Grove tying up ear to ear right now is good.
Now's when you want to do that.
Yeah, now you can stall out a little bit without getting in trouble.
He's just got to stop circling. He just wants to push forward. Oh, he gave that one up. He's going to want to sit here for a minute because the wheeling wrestler has to let him go. Look, he's kind of holding on his hand there, which is smart. But he's got to be ready to go because the wrestler's going to shoot in on him.
5 seconds. Now he just wants to circle.
Yes.
Now if he just circles around, he should be in good shape.
You can almost at this point run around the mat. You're not going to get 3 stalling calls in 5 seconds. And it's basically what he's doing. You got 1 warning. Even if it happened 2 more times, you'd be all right. So he got it.
He knew what he's doing. He started running right away.
He must have heard me.
That was a big win for Elk Grove. That was a good win.
Close match, tough match. You get some 3 team points, which every team point matters. And now Elk Grove does lead 21-6.
Going to 182 now, 182 pounders.
They cleared the team scores on us. What are we going to do?
They'll work out. We know it's 24-6, so we're good. So 182 junior we have coming up.
Ty Messina for Elk Grove and Eric Giron for Wheeling. I wonder if they're related, cousins, brothers, coincidence. Not sure, but we'll leave that to our imagination.
All right, nice takedown.
Nice quick takedown.
Yes.
A nice low single, brought that up and elevated. There's a lot of finishes you can do. He obviously chose that one.
Ty is 8-7, third at Glenbard West tournament, third at Rex Lewis, and another junior Grin alumni. What we were talking about before, junior, that Grin program is feeding up so much. You see almost every wrestler, and that means a big difference. Oh, he's got him right there.
Remember, he's got to settle
Watch
his hips
weight.
back. There he goes.
There he goes.
He just wants to almost put his hips back to the mat at this point. He's got to
back.
keep circling back.
Yep.
When you're in a position like that, you really can take your time. You don't need to rush it, and you can consistently settle your body weight and slowly work that over because you did the hard part. The hard part's getting the move set up, getting the move and arms in the right positions for it. So really take your time. That's the biggest difference between kind of losing that and only getting a couple points and getting a pin. So I've noticed that a couple times, but they're back on their feet, 4-1 Elk Grove, and looking for another takedown. He's nice doll. He's got to get his hips under.
He's got that right there. Now they got the team score wrong. They forgot to put the last match up. It should be 24.
No, that's right. It's 21.
No, I thought they got
3 points. They
they didn't
points.
get a pin. That's
Yeah.
right. Okay. Cross face.
He's going to really want to try and break him down first before he gets into some of these. You're going to have a higher chance of success when the wrestler's broken down before you start to look for some of these turns. Going to suck that wrist in there, and you want to kind of drive him forward and bust him flat, and then you can really look for different combinations off of that.
And top wrestlers, that's one of their big goals, to get that wrist control on the bottom guy. Because you control that arm like he's got. He's not
Nice
going to do it. He's got tilt right there. Tilt points are not always the best to give up. It's
Sometimes you can't help it.
I know, but it's not what varsity wrestlers should avoid that one. He's going to escape there.
A couple
2
seconds
seconds
left. I'm sure Vargas isn't happy about that. Oh, and
he gave him 2 takedown.
That's 3 points at the end of the period that you basically dominated and really let the wrestler right back in.
I don't think that score is quite right.
It should be 8-4, I believe.
Yeah. See if they correct it. They chose their feet this time, Craig. They didn't want top or bottom.
Yeah, sometimes when you know that your opponent has strengths at everything, you just go to your strength. So even though Elk Grove has taken him down twice, uh, he may feel that he still has his best opportunity when he's on his feet.
And the correct score is 8-4 Elk Grove now.
And even for the wheeling wrestler, and I've noticed this a couple times with the Elk Grove, is when they've snapped them down, but they don't attack off of that.
They don't finish it.
The opportunity when you
Right.
snap a wrestler down is as they're getting back up, then you take your shot because they're not 100% prepared for it.
Right. They don't finish the move.
Takedown there
Wheeling.
for Eric. So now it's 8-6. Eric is trailing Elk Grove's time is seen by 2. About a minute left in the second here.
And as you said earlier, Craig, you got to keep move after move after move. So you snap them, then keep going. Don't just stop and watch. Escape there for Elk Grove. It's like Wheeling likes to work the head.
And you see that, and I know when we've done these before, I've mentioned this, but different programs, different coaches, they tend to have different things that they teach. And while everyone gets taught relatively the same moves and combinations and takedowns and escapes, there's preferences built. So different programs tend to focus on different things as a collective unit. So you see that, and you're seeing that with wheeling. There's a lot of snap downs. There's a lot of 2-on-1s when they're on top. There's a lot of arm bars. So those are things you see from a program level.
Now here, Craig, you just saw Wheeling got a warning for stalling. Now, I think the wheeling wrestler on his feet has been pretty active, but he's backing up all the time. And he was going to get another one here. He was backing up again. And Elk Grove just kind of giving that perception. And Wheeling's wrestler's been trying, but he is backing up, and the ref doesn't like seeing that.
Yeah. Got a circle and face him here.
Nice switch. Nice switch back. Like you said, he went one way, then went back the other way. Only 10 seconds left.
Well, Elk Grove will take a 9-8 lead going into the third, but I'm sure Vargas isn't happy with. I mean, 5 out of the 8 points have happened within the last 5 to 10 seconds of each period. You just gotta finish. You gotta finish your periods. I mean, because other than those 15 seconds in this match, it's pretty much has been controlled, but it doesn't show it on the scoreboard.
Wheeling chose to get up the 1 point to start on their feet.
Which you can do now.
Yep, which Elk Grove chose down. So now Wheeling needs a takedown. Elk Grove's got to get a takedown. Now remember, Wheeling also got the warning for stalling on his feet. So, and see, he's backing up again. See?
One thing I'd like to see in this match in particular is after the wheeling wrestler shoots and he comes back out, he sort of stands straight up. So there's an opportunity there for Ty to shoot off of the wheeling wrestler shot. It's all tied up here with about a minute left.
Okay, he's going to let him go
Wheeling
again.
wants them to let him go, so the wheeling wrestler will be down by 1 here, but I think they feel like their best chance is to get another takedown, so the Elk Grove wrestler here has got to pull one out.
I'll be honest with you, Craig. It looks like Wheeling guy might be a little bit tired. Now Elk Grove should be aggressive. If you notice, see?
He does look a little tired.
Yeah, he looks a little gassed. Now is when Elk Grove wants to really start pressing the issue.
There's an opportunity here to sort of close this up if he can get one more takedown.
Yep. You'll get him backing up a little bit, try and catch his breath. See, he is still backing up. He did the snap again.
Just gotta keep facing him. About 35 seconds left. You gotta get to his feet. There he goes. Now you gotta get your hips back under you, though. You don't want to be crunched over like that.
Okay, 30 seconds. I'm telling you, Wheeling looks tired. You've seen a lot of wrestlers.
I will say the Elk Grove wrestler Ty looks like the better conditioned athlete right now, and he's got to take advantage of that.
Yes.
You got to keep facing. Look where you're at on the mat.
Use the mat to his advantage.
Got to know where you're at. Kind of hang out here for a little bit if you can.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to get a stalling if you're actively wrestling. He's got to look for opportunities from that.
Well, 6 seconds. Now we're Elk
No,
Grove.
no stalling calls
No.
on him. He's got to be.
No.
He's just got to be cautious of a
Circle,
quick
like
shot.
you said. Owens running around the mat.
Keep that whizzer in. Look where you are on the mat.
Oh! No, he didn't give it to him. I thought he was going to give it to him at the last second.
They did call it, but the ref immediately called it off after the time. So the Wheeling coach here is going to have a couple words with him, but that's not going to change anything.
That was close.
Wow.
That was close.
Well, as close
Good
as you
win.
can get. 11-10.
Good win.
So Ty does get the win there, which is great for him and also great for the team because that ups the score to 24-6 right now. And here we go to the 195 match, which will be Luis Rivas from Wheeling versus Brady Tosserud from Elk Grove, and he's another one of the seniors here at Elk Grove.
Brady's 9-4, second at Rex Lewis, second Lombard West, 6 in Oz West. Another junior grin, and he's committed to Wisconsin Whitewater, Craig, to play football.
Yeah.
He's a tight end receiver and a linebacker for the Grenadiers.
He's built like one too. He's I don't know how tall he is, but he's well over 6 feet. So he's got the body style for it, that's for sure. And he's looking to close out his final home meet here at Elk Grove with a win.
That was quite an exciting last match. See it down the last second like that. But the ref did get it right. No question, he was not inside.
And the time had already gone before he signaled it. So I agree with that. If we had instant replay for them to see, he'll feel good knowing that he made the right call.
Again, Wheeling really likes tying that hub.
They go for that. They call it a Russian, a 2-on-1, but that's really what they look for. A lot of their offense through. They're doing the Russian grip. They're doing snap downs. They like to be tied up, so they're looking for more of that close contact, close combat type moves off of their setups.
Just off the mat on that one. Quite a height difference between those two guys. I always liked long legs, so I didn't mind shooting for them. Yeah, again, they're trying to work with that head control from Wheeling. Hard to see with the ref. There we go.
They're both just kind of looking for that 2-on-1. Looks like Brady also likes to use that Russian grip
he's got the arm there.
And tie it up. His offense coming off of that as well. Looks like he's trying to set something up here. Running out of real estate, so he's going to have to circle him in if he wants to get anything out of it. But he's got a nice underhook there. He needs to look to attack off of that.
You throw that up and shoot under, or a lot of things work off of that. Again, like you said, inside control is a key when you're on your feet.
It just opens everything up. About 5 seconds left here in the first period.
We'll see who gets choice and what they take. Wheeling gets choice, and they're going to defer again.
Elk Grove's going to go down. Well, I mean, it hasn't gotten to triple overtime yet, so I don't think we'll see that tonight. But
now that's something Wheeling gives up a point. It mustn't like riding on top. Unless he's got something on his feet we haven't seen in the first period. I'm curious to see what's going on with that.
They know their wrestlers better than we do, so I'm sure there's a rhyme and a reason of why they're letting him up. Maybe the wrestler historically has gotten in more trouble than good.
Wheeling's really trying to control that head. See him do something off it, though. Brady does a nice job trying up his free wrist.
There's a nice little duck under there by Brady. He's got to get him to the mat to get the points. He's got to keep him on the mat.
On the mat.
There he goes. He's inbounds with the possession.
He got the two.
That'll be 2. You just have to have control of him before you.
He's
got the cradle locked up. It looks like he's going to bring it back. Now he wants to settle, get the knee in the side.
He's got it right there. Should have it.
That near shoulder to be able to get that down. That's where you want to get that knee in the side here.
There's plenty of time for him. 50
There
seconds.
he goes. He's getting away from him now. There you go. Nice pin.
Elk Grove likes that cradle tonight. That's the third
Well,
one.
especially someone like Brady, who's as tall as he is and has as long of arms as he does, you can naturally get that locked up easier than someone that has shorter arms. So, certain body styles actually will favor certain different wrestling moves that you can and will do. And he did a really nice job. You could tell that wasn't his first cradle because he was able to finish it nicely. And something we talked about earlier was he took his time, he settled, and he kind of methodically got him to where he needed to be to get that pin. So here we go to the
Here's one of the, Elk Grove.
220. We got
Chance
Guziak versus Javi Lopez of Wheeling.
Chance is 21-4. He's first at Glenbard West Tournament, first at Rex Lewis, third at Niles Westminster. He only lost one. And he's honorable mention ranking in the state. So definitely one of Elk Grove's better wrestlers.
He had a quick takedown, and he's got a nice tilt here. He's trying to almost get to like his body forming a T with the other wrestler, because if you're doing a tilt and you're parallel to each other, you can get yourself in some trouble. So he did a nice job there to get 3 back points.
He likes to have tight wrist control, which helps obviously for the tilt. Try and get the half. Now he's got the half in.
Just going to keep that wrist. He's got to suck that in, and sometimes you can swing it by, but he lost the half there.
He definitely has control on top there.
He does a good job on top. Even though he got a little high there for a second, the reason he didn't go over the top was because he keeps his arms underneath the other, underneath his opponent's shoulder. So if you keep those double underhooks like that when you're on top and people are moving around, you're able to follow without really getting into too much trouble.
Mm-hmm.
I will say the Wheeling wrestler here,
he's going.
He's moving. Javi's putting multiple moves together, so he's giving a lot of effort, but unfortunately he hasn't been able to do anything with it, so it'll play into his conditioning, I'm assuming, later in the match.
Yeah. Chance is up 7-0 now. You just see Chance. Chance knows what he's doing out there.
Absolutely.
Now we go on their feet again. See what Chance does again. He took him down pretty quickly last time.
They're looking to pummel in here and looking for the positioning that they want. So he's looking to jack up that underhook. He's got to elevate that. For the Wheeling wrestler I'm speaking of, he has to elevate that. He's got what they call jacking it up in order to create something off of there. So if you have it on there just to have it under there, it's going to be ineffective. So looking for a leg off of that.
He's got that underhook Wheeling again. But see, Chance has that wrist, which helps counter that. He's got to pop that arm out of there. He did.
And that's the thing, is if you don't elevate that underhook, you're not going to get anything out of it. So in order for that inside position to be beneficial, he's got to elevate that.
You hear the coach even yell that out.
And Chance is giving it to him. I agree with the Wheeling coach from what he just yelled out. If they're giving it to you, use it.
Take it. I think one thing's helping Chance. He gets a lot of that wrist control, which kind of counters. He's under though. He's got the underhook again.
He got both of them.
Yep, right there. Look at that. Look at that.
He's got to crawl forward. You go to you play with fire a little too much by allowing them those underhooks. Something like that is eventually going to happen.
He got the second one in and took him right down.
That's exactly what happened.
Yep. And the bigger guys look for that. The bigger guys like that move. He is Chance very lucky in that one. He was almost.
About 10 seconds left, and
a little wake-up call.
Yeah,
for Chance.
One move completely changes the complexion of this match.
You know that too well.
I've been there.
My very last match at high school wrestling here at Elk Grove, I reached back and on my back and done. So one mistake, and I was winning at the time. One mistake can finish you.
Oh yeah. So now it's 8-5 after getting that free point. Elk Grove chose down, and Wheeling elected a start on the feet, so that'll be 1 point for Elk Grove. So it's 8-5.
He's underneath again. He's trying to get that under.
And what Chance needs to do there is he needs to continue to pummel in or work his arms in and circle. If he continues to do that, he'll be in a good spot.
Whizzer.
One thing you don't want to do with that is step over it. If you step over it with a whizzer, you can end up on your back real quick.
See, I think Wheeling feels confident now with that throw.
This is an opportunity for Chance to, if he has, I don't know his different shots that he has in his arsenal, but it's a good opportunity to shoot on his legs. If he can shoot on his legs, I think off of one of these tie-ups that he's going to have a high success rate and an opportunity to get the takedown.
Because he's tying up so much,
The wrestler is just, he's selling out. Javi of Wheeling is just pummeling in and selling out. So if you can pop and go, this is the time to do it, but it also depends on what Chance's comfort level is with his takedowns.
I think Javi thinks his best chance is to get a throw, obviously. So, but it looks like Chance is not getting.
And the reality is that Wheeling's looking for stalling, and they gave it to him. But I don't know if I agree with that. He's pummeling in also. It's.
Here it goes again.
He's trying to jack those up. All you have to do when they're looking for that is keeping your hips back. You got to get his hips away here off the mat. About 25 seconds left. When Javi from Wheeling gets those double underhooks in, what Chance needs to do is keep his hips back and use both arms to try and break that and keep pressure on his arms down. That's going to allow him to not get thrown. Because what the Wheeling wrestler wants to do is jack that up and bring it in tighter and closer to be able to get that.
I've got a feeling Coach Vargas is going to talk to Chance a little bit after this match.
He's probably not too happy, but
no.
Hey, there's 7 seconds left here. If he can fight this one off, a win's a win, and you'll take it and you move on.
Yep.
They're not all pretty. It's a nice win there for Chance on senior night here. That's another senior at Elk Grove that got a win. So regardless of the outcome, I'm sure Chance will be the first to admit that he would have liked to have done a little better. But in my book, a win's a win, and I take that any day of the week. And here we go with the big boys, the heavyweights. We got Leo Arroyo from Wheeling versus Ramiro Valdivia from Elk Grove.
Ramiro is a junior, 12-5 with 9 pins. Second in Glenbard West, fifth Rex Lewis, sixth at Niles West. He's also starting lineman for the Grenadier football team, which most big boys are.
He's responsible for protecting Mitch. So I'm sure Mitch wants to see him do well here as well. They're both juniors, so they'll be back on the football field next year and on the wrestling mat.
There's a takedown.
Wheeling went for a throw there, and it missed. And so now what Elk Grove will do is look to break him flat and see if he can get him turned over. If you get put on your back as a heavyweight, it's very, very difficult to get off of it. It's a lot of weight that you have to push off of it.
And what Romero did is what you want to do is just pop this head out of there from the throw.
Yep.
Which happens a lot. He's looking there. Walk around right there.
Over. If he settles back here, it's not going to look good for Wheeling.
Get on his toes.
There it is. It's a nice pin for Ramiro there, and it'll extend Elk Grove's lead to 36-6 as we flip the script and go back down to the little guys.
He's a little faster than the big boys.
There'll be a lot more action, I can promise you that. A lot more shots taken in these next few matches that we have coming up here, which starting at 106 will be Cesar Villa from Wheeling versus Nicasio Asino for Elk Grove.
Asino name's a name in wrestling here at Elk Grove.
Yeah, his dad was a very good wrestler.
Yep, conference champ.
I believe so. Yep.
Nice takedown.
Quick takedown there for Nicasio with an ankle pick. He's sucking that arm in for a 2-on-1 there. Let's see what he's going to try and do off of that. He's got both legs in there. He's looking for got the half in there, but Wheeling built to his base. But once again, he's looking for an arm bar from that position. If you can keep that 2-on-1, punch that through, which Wheeling's not giving it to him, but you look for other things off that, hop to the side, break him flat again. But if you keep that 2-on-1, there's a lot of different things you could do from there, like tilt him up like that. He's got to That's the key there, which was nice for Nicasio, is you don't want to let that go. Because
No.
if they roll through and you have both, you're fine. You just continue to roll with them. But if you let go of it, you find yourself in trouble. Looks like he's able to get that armbar in here.
Now, I also point out, Nick is only a freshman.
Yes.
And he's 12-4, 6 Rex Lewis, and another junior grin.
Yeah, that's.
There he goes. Run that half.
They're not mutually exclusive for the most part. The better wrestlers that you will see are those that have been doing it for a while. It's just one of those sports where I'm not saying it can't happen. It does from time to time, but those that have higher levels of success have been doing it for some time.
Hey, our first injury time, a little blood time, I think. Yep, bloody nose, which we're used to. I gotta say, that's probably the latest I've seen a bloody nose.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't even think about it.
Yeah, I didn't either till we saw that one. What happens is, obviously, blood is something very careful in wrestling. Once blood is shown, they stop the match immediately. The trainers obviously clean the mat first, and the trainer himself will get out there and make sure he stops the blood. And wrestlers can get, all the time they need to get the blood stopped, and taking it just did. So
I don't even think they do a clock anymore, do they?
I'm not
It
sure.
used to be, but
Yeah.
the time was so long that it
Like
was
5
it was
minutes.
pointless to even
Yeah.
do it. But
And they didn't count cleanup time. And
no.
yeah.
So I think we're back here with Nicasio on top. He's leading 2-0 with about 38 seconds here in the first period.
And you notice he's got the padding up his nose to stop the blood, which in wrestling you see a lot of. Now he's looking to tilt him again.
If he wants to get that, he's got to keep it nice and tight, almost at the waistline of the wheeling wrestler, and you want to keep your hips as close as you can while you're elevating him over that. That's how you're going to be able to get that. There he goes. And once again, so you see how he had his hips a little bit more in there? That's exactly what he needs to do.
Now this shows you how wrestling can be. And right now, Casio's got a 2-0 lead, but he looks like he's been dominating the whole period, all that. But he's only got 2 points, which means, even though you're aggressive and you're working a lot, you got to get those points to add up.
Mm-hmm. Neutral again. Alcro's choice, and they deferred, and Wheeling chose neutral.
Well, the good news for Elko is they can't lose the meet, so they've got that already locked
You
up.
do the math?
Yeah, already done. All coaches do that. We know that each match. So it's nice to see him get that 3-2 record on the East Division. And will help all these matches, obviously help for seeding for conference coming up.
Nice. He
Nice.
did the same thing again. Nice ankle pick there. Now you want to
He's
keep
gonna-
that.
Yes, don't
And
give
if you
that up.
can, you want to keep that low shoulder, they call it, and split the legs there. He just lost it a little bit there at the end, but he did a good job not immediately letting go. If you reach for that low shoulder and keep the legs split, you do have an opportunity for some back points from there.
So it should be 2-0 right now, or 4-0.
It's 4-0, yeah.
They haven't caught up yet. Now he's trying to tilt again.
And he's got to keep it tight on his waist and
He
continue
shouldn't
to
give
work
that up.
closer.
He's got this. He's lost it.
Sometimes, and I know you mentioned that it was only 2-0 after that period, but sometimes, especially with the wheeling wrestler who's losing, is actually getting the stalling calls because Nicasio's looking for moves. He's in total control. So those are things that, as a wrestler on top right here, I'll be honest, I would like to be in those positions because he's working a lot less hard than the wrestler on the bottom, and the wrestler on the bottom is going to get more tired. And as you saw there, that tilt finally came through, and he got 2 back points. So Nicasio's got a 6-0 lead now. It looks like his blood thing popped out, and it did. So go as politely as I can say it. They'll go shove another one up there, and hopefully he'll get right back out.
I think they're looking to fix that scoreboard too.
Yeah, they'll adjust it. It should be 6-0, and
Yep,
there's
they
about
just got it.
22 seconds left here in the second period, and I think Elko will have the choice in the third after deferring. So I'm be curious to see if he goes neutral again, if he's confident to get on the bottom. So we'll get there when we get there. But for right now, looks like they're
Well, why we got a
getting
second?
the mat cleaned up, and we'll get back to it.
Well, we got a second, Craig. We got a big match coming up next. Grant from Elk Grove, who's 18-4 sophomore. He placed at state when he was in the junior grins, and actually he placed 4th last year at Frost Soft State. You remember those days?
Mhm.
He's actually a young man that's got quite a future. I used to see him all the time at the fitness center working out in the off season. Very dedicated, which shows them wrestlers. So Elk Grove's got a lot of depth on this team. They really do. And a lot of wrestlers coming back next year.
Yeah.
And young ones. Nicasio's only a freshman. Grant's only a sophomore.
Got about 5 seconds here. You want to hang on and keep this at 6-0 in complete control and give yourself the chance to.
Well, let's see what Elk Grove does. Oh, Elk Grove takes down.
They're going to have him go down.
That's some work for him down there. Look at that switch.
Quick switch, and it's 8-0.
One thing you notice with Nicasio, he tries a lot of different ways to put him on his back.
Mm-hmm.
He's not just a single move wrestler. Now he's got the bar arm. Does a tilt.
He's got to pitch it. It looks
Oh,
like
he's
he's got
right
it
there. Right
nice
there.
And, got that one nice
Bring
and
the
tight.
hip back.
Sit down.
Bring the hips.
Nope, hips down. There you go.
There you go.
Second those shoulder blades touch now, they'll call it. There it
There
is.
it goes. Nice. Again, like I said, Greg, he tried something different.
Mhm.
He hadn't done a bar arm yet. First time, the other wrestler doesn't expect it.
Yeah, a very nice match for Nicasio. Brings it to 45-6 Elk Grove as we come into the 113-pound match with the aforementioned Grant Maddle versus Matt Katz of Wheeling. Nice throw by there. Trying to lock up that cradle. Sorry. Went to go scratch my nose and probably a loud noise for
Looks
you.
like he's got the cradle coming. He gets this, that'd be Elk Grove's fourth cradle.
There it is.
Yep.
He's going to settle back, and looks like he's got it pretty good there.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't call that. He looked flat on his back.
I think the ref didn't get around there quick enough to see it because he was pretty pinned. We've seen enough of him know a pin when we see that. He's got his head in his arm, Craig. He's trying to drive. What is he working on?
Just
there?
really another way to kind of put pressure into the mat there. Creates an opening to slide an armbar in, which I believe, I can't see from this angle, I think he's trying to do. And he is. And so if the wrestler's on their knees like that and you saw him just try to do it, you can actually swing it back the other way. Creates the wrestler to get off balance on the bottom and then be able to run it again. Now he's got both arms behind the back. Wheeling's going to find himself in trouble if Grant can keep this parallel. And when I say parallel, he can't go above 90 degrees.
Across the back.
There's not much this guy can do from here.
No. Now he's got it almost right there. Bring his hip up a little bit.
My shoulders hurt watching this.
Yeah, he's got to step back over.
Now he's got the double arm bar. He can take his time
now. He's got it. Now he should have it. If I was the ref, I'd take him out of his misery. Because that is not comfortable.
No, but credit to Alex, or I'm sorry, Max on Wheeling, that he's fighting off that twice now.
It did not look comfortable.
I don't know if I would have done that.
There's times in wrestling where you just want to get some relief.
Maybe he's double jointed.
Oh, he's taken down. Get a little work on the bottom.
8-0. He'll go down.
You can see Grant by looking at him. That working out at the fitness centers definitely helped him. You can see strength-wise.
Nice quick escape there. It's 9-0. Another nice throw by there. 11-0. A couple more turns here. We'll do it once you're up by 15, unless he pins him first, so the match will end.
Now, Oak Grove's obviously got this well in hand, but coaches get frustrated. They want to see those pinpoints instead of the major decision or the tech falls.
See, he's doing that again with that head and the shoulder. He's trying to punch his arm through while he's got it, and it looks like he's going to get it here again.
He's got the other wrist.
Now he swings him back, and then he'll run it. And you can do that as many times as you need to.
Yeah, he still has the wrist.
There it
it
is.
is.
That was good wrestling, efficient. That was an impressive match. I think it'll bring it up to. Is it updated or is it 57-6 now?
No, it's 40. It was 45.
So they're quick.
Yeah, 51.
Shout out to the scoreboard team.
120.
This is going to be Alex Lucas from Wheeling versus Emerson Romero from Elk Grove.
Emerson, this is his first varsity match.
That was a nice takedown there by Alex of Wheeling.
In all honesty, Craig, I don't think I've ever seen Elk Grove beating Wheeling 51-6 in a wrestling match.
Not as far as I can remember.
Coach had his team ready tonight. Almost have it. Emerson's got a fight there, good fight.
And sometimes you get an opportunity to get in the varsity lineup, and credit to Emerson here for doing his best. And sometimes you run up against a good wrestler like Alex is here, so Emerson's got to keep fighting here. That's all right. So Alex with the win there. 51-12 in favor of Elk Grove. Now we got
A forfeit.
A forfeit. Anthony Orozco from Wheeling will get a forfeit at 126, which will bring us to our final match of the evening, which is Jay, no last name, for Wheeling versus David Bahina for Elk Grove.
And this is David's first varsity match too. He's 0-0. So actually, Elk Grove's only lost 2 of the matches tonight because he had 1 forfeit.
Yeah, it's been a pretty dominating effort here for Elk Grove.
Good senior night.
Just a quick takedown there for Jay from Wheeling. Looking for that. He's got that wrist control. He's looking to potentially get an arm bar in here as well, or tilt him up here.
And this is, Craig, the last match of the night.
So we'll get 3 near fall there, so it's 5-0 Jay.
Just a little housekeeping, Craig. I'm kind of surprised you didn't have to wear a hairnet.
Rules are always changing. Back when I wrestled, which wasn't even that long, maybe 15, 20 years ago, you did. And
Yeah.
so I don't think it's obviously must not be a requirement anymore.
Yeah, because it's... Dave's got a good head of hair on him. And the reason they do that is for safety. Oh, got him there.
And that'll do it. So Jay with a pin over David Bahina from Elk Grove, which will end this match at 51-24 Elk Grove. So a great win on senior night.
And Elk Grove's got a very exciting future and present. They're doing well. Conference coming up, state tournament. So it should be good. Elk Grove wrestling is definitely on the right path. We congratulate Wheeling for being here tonight. And more importantly, we congratulate the Grins on a great victory and a winning record in the division, which is always positive. So
Very
tonight,
good.
on behalf of Craig Jr. and myself, we thank you all for watching Elk Grove Channel 6 TV Sports. And we'll be seeing you again in the future. Junior, thanks again.
Thanks.